we're taking a look at some fantastic everyday carry folding knives, and you'll have to let us know down in the comments if you see a knife today in the video that you forgot actually existed. I love hearing from you, and don't forget to let us know what your EDC is for today. Also, we're going to kick this list off with one of my favorite EDC knives that I've ever carried, that I've ever laid eyes on, the Vero Synapse. Now, this is the XL model. The one I'm talking about in particular is the regular Synapse, which is going to be just a little bit smaller than this one, and I think is more ideal for most people. They are available, and I'll have them linked down below in the description, and the rest of the knives you're going to see are available in some form or fashion as well. Now, this particular one, we're going to be looking at a stone-washed M390 blade. You're going to get the same materials from model to model. We have a nice swedge that rolls in from that flat drop point blade, M390, nice sharpening choil. You have a rear flicker, and you have a cutout for reverse flick for the right-handed person. We also have titanium bolsters here. You're going to have a plethora of different finishes that you can get for the blade and the handle. DLC, satins, PVD, stonewash, and then titanium bolsters across the board, which will have different finishes depending on the variant you get. And then there's also going to be micartas and G10s and carbon fibers, just depending on what is available. But there are so many variations that you will have lots to choose from. We're looking at titanium for our pocket clip and backspacer. Bestech does a phenomenal job on their knives, and they really do a good job on these Veros. One of my favorite all-time knives, the Vero Synapse. And now, pretty much almost all these, with the exception of one, have been like heavy users for me, and some of them have scratches on the blade or discoloring from running them through material or whatever. But the Tuya Envy here, I love this series. It's the knife that actually put Tuya on the map for me personally. They were a company I admittedly didn't know about until I think it was about a year and a half ago or so. But Tuya has really put out some fantastic models over the last 2 years or so. And the Envy here, this is going to be coming in S90V. These are well priced. S90V, this one has a satin sheep split blade. You have dual thumb studs for the deployment. The detent is absolutely money. I believe there are a bunch of different variations you can get as far as carbon fiber inlays go. We're looking at titanium handles, backspacer, and pocket clip. Great access to that lock bar as well. And this is a good average size knife right here with a fantastic working blade. The action, detent are all money on this knife. I'm telling you what, if you haven't heard of Tuya or haven't checked out their catalog of knives on their website, definitely recommend going over there and checking them out. Next up, we're taking a look at the hidden gem, I would say, Monster knives, and this is the Glideman, a company that kind of came out of nowhere in a sense and dropped several really nice knives on us. We're going to be looking at M390. They do it 60 to 62 on the HRC, which is fantastic. We have multiple forms of deployment with the cutout and rear flipper tab, and there are going to be different variations of this knife with stonewash blades like you see here. I believe they have coated blades as well, and then different handle finishes you can choose from. We're looking at titanium all the way around. Great access to the lock bar, and there's nothing wrong with a company coming right out of the gate and going for a more premium knife, especially if they can pull it off. And if anyone has pulled off something like that, it is this company right here. Definitely recommend checking out the couple of knives they have to offer. They are really outstanding. It really is a great time to be in the knife hobby. There are so many knives in every price point. It would make your head spin. But there has been point in times, I've been in the knife community for 9 years now, and there has been plenty of times where really awesome knives, you just couldn't get them. And the Concept Fenrir, there was a period of time for like 2 years where you just couldn't get this knife at all. And I remember them trickling out, and I immediately picked this knife up. The Concept Fenrir here, Greg Schaub design. No secret to a lot of people, but there's people out there coming into the knife community every single day that have no idea about some of these older knives. And Concept, you're going to get a great build. S35VN, harpoon, clip point, drop point style blade, whatever you want to call it. I call it a harpoon drop point, but that's me. We have this nice casual belly rolling up to that pokey tip. We have a nice little flat and a nice tall top swedge. Plenty of area to grip this knife and different ways to grip the knife. That harpoon area is perfect for the thumb. We have dual thumb studs and a front flipper for deployment. The detent, absolutely money on this knife. The front flipper is extremely well executed. Anyone who has a Fenrir will let you know down in the comments how awesome this knife really is. We have marbled carbon fiber as far as our bolster look here, and then the rest of the handle is going to be titanium along with the hardware and pocket clip. We have great access to that frame. This is still technically a frame lock. We just have the bolster going over the entire thing, which is a really, really good way to do this knife. At least lefties can actuate the knife without any issue. We don't have left-hand carry options. We do have a lanyard hole here, and these are going to be very well priced. There are a ton of different variations ranging from like 160 all the way up to like 240. So depending on what kind of version you get, you can really get some awesome options though from micarta, carbon fiber, and basic carbon fiber like this, I would say, all the way up to fat carbon fibers. So lots of different options: Damascus blades, satin, stone wash, PVD, black wash like this. So plenty of options when it comes to the Fenrir. Next up, we're taking a look at the Off-Grid Knives Scorpion V3. Now, this isn't an older knife or a knife that, has went out of stock and, been hard to get, but we live in such a fast-paced world when it comes to everything, especially knives. Knives like this will, quickly get, all these knives quickly get moved on from as far as, the center of the knife world goes. But for everyone else that's on the outside and becoming a part of that world has no idea about all of these knives. And in the case of the Off-Grid Scorpion V3 here, we're looking at another Bestech OEM, and I'd be willing to bet that this Farrah Monster is Bestech as well. We're looking at MagnaCut done at 63 to 64. We have a nice gray PVD harpoon blade, as Off-Grid calls it, jimping all the way up the spine there, anywhere you're going to need or use it. Excellent flipper action on these knives. Really well designed flipper tab. Detent is perfect. The action is really, really good. Great access with a chamfer on that lock bar. Closing action is money. Titanium for our handle, backspacer, and pocket clip. And then we have carbon fiber inlays on both sides. Our titanium deep carry rollover clip here is also going to be reversible for left-handers out there. A beefy, beastie knife from Off-Grid coming in, MagnaCut. I am a huge fan of the Scorpion. Another knife that I really beat the piss out of that I really like, and somebody commented about this knife the other day, and I was like, man, that is a fantastic, fantastic knife. This is coming in 20 CV. We have that harpoon drop point style blade, really, really cool looking blade shape. And then we have a cutout for deployment, jimping up here on the top. We're looking at contoured orange peeled titanium handles, titanium backspacer that has gearing, and then we have a milled titanium clip with a little bit of flair to it. And this is a great little mid-sized knife. Not sure why it's called the Shocker, but that's why, or that's what it is called. We have a great chamfer with jimping on that lock bar. That's exactly what I want to see on every liner, every frame lock. If up to me, that's what I would ask for right there. The detent on this is absolutely money. There's a lot of people out there who don't like flipper tabs, and this knife is not sporting a flipper. This area is completely free from a flipper. Some people just love that cutout action, and I don't blame them. I like flippers, but just having a cutout is also good with me. Jimping up there on that little raised area just really locks you in. This isn't a big knife, but definitely a capable knife with that pokey tip, little bit of a straight edge that rolls into that belly. Really, really love this Shocker, and I think it's a true hidden gem along with a lot of the Tuya catalog. And this video gave me a reason to bring this knife out, the Katuo and Carbon Knives Buckhorn. Anybody who's been around the channel for any extended time knows I'm a huge fan of the Buckhorn design. I carried and used the 14C and aluminum version for months and months, and it's still in rotation. It's one of my favorite designs. We're looking at a Ken Onion design, and it's his company Carbon along with Katuo who puts these knives out. Now this one is not the 14C in aluminum. This is S35VN with that really cool drop point blade. You just have this constant rise to this belly here up to that tip, and then right at the last minute this cants down, and it's such a unique blade shape. I love it. It's still pokey and can be piercy if needed. It's not extremely pokey, but it'll definitely get the job done, believe me. And it just cuts so well, especially for EDC tasks, package opening, mail opening, that sort of thing, breaking down of cardboard, the stuff a lot of people do on a weekly basis. This is going to excel very good at. We're looking at dual thumb studs that have stepping done to them, and I think they are perfectly executed. Not a lot of places or companies do that, but man, does it work really, really good. We have a rear flipper tab here as well, so several different ways you can deploy this knife. And then we're looking at contoured and a dual texturing on this titanium handle. We have a titanium backspacer, and we have a milled titanium clip that goes along with the rest of the handle. And then I always say that looks like a bullet casing. I think that might be what he intended, but not 100% sure, but that's what it certainly looks like to me. We have great access to that lock bar there, and they do chamfer it off. This is a knife I fully look forward to putting in my pocket more here in the coming weeks. The Buckhorn remains one of my favorite designs ever. You guys will have to let me know. What was your favorite knife from today's video? Was it the Buckhorn? Was it the Shocker? What about the Scorpion V3? How about the Fenrir from Concept? We have the Farrah Monster Glideman, the Tuya Envy series, and we also have the Vero Synapse. Let me know which one was your favorite and why. I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. That helps push the video out there to more people. If you're new to my channel here and you enjoy this type of content, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe because I release daily videos just like this. I'll put up a couple of new ones on your screen. YouTube is recommending you go check out that one right there. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.